Yeah, and you know what? We're definitely going to see some good matches because next we have two up and scene, DinOt and Rondo. And, you know, for those of you who don't know who they are, you are not alone because these guys, this is their first big tournament and they are making quite a splash. DinOt, the Chilean Zerg, just joined the MYM Meet Your Makers team. And they got to be proud of that, I tell you. He is just ripping stuff up. I mean, who is this guy? Hydra in the groups. He won his group with Hydra, so that is quite impressive in and of itself. And you know, he's a very young Chilean Zerg player, bright future ahead of him. And his opponent here is going to be looks like Rondo. Rondo, the Protoss player from Russia. No one really knows anything about him, but he was in like the super group of death in the round of 32. He had White Raw, Zowsy, and Not For You, and he beat Zowsy and Not For You. So, I mean, he's doing something right, whether it's cannons in their main or just tricky play overall, I don't know. But he is definitely a good player.
Yeah, I think this is kind of the matchup of the two unknowns trying to prove themselves. Not too many people know too much about these two players, but they've definitely proven themselves getting to this point. So it's really going to be interesting to see if they've gotten here. I mean, everyone's seen the games beforehand, but are they going to play straight up? Are they going to succumb to the pressure and try to cheese? It's going to be really interesting. I don't think these maps really lend themselves to cheese, so if I had to guess, I'd say we see straight up play, but I don't know. What are you predicting for this upcoming match on Wuthering Heights?
Well, you know, Wuthering, as I said before, I think it is leaning towards Protoss. But I don't know what we'll see here. This is the one match I dare not predict because Rondo, as you know, many people know, and we've said about 1,000 times, I mean, he made cannons in the main of both Zowsy and Not For You in group stage. So we may see some wild builds out of Rondo, and I know I've asked some guys about him, who is this Rondo fella? And they are telling me he is a good player. You know, straight up with cheese, however you want it, he is a good player. So, you know, I can't even guess what we're going to see here on Wuthering. And it looks like we're ready for the intro. Go, go. And here we go, Game 1, Wuthering Heights, Rondo versus DinOt. We have Rondo from the Fusion team. I believe he is the only player in... Well, actually, no, SPX also made it, so 2 Fusion players making the top 48. And DinOt, an MYM player. I mean, MYM is all over the place in TSL, really great team. And as we were saying before, it's hard to predict what Rondo's going to do. I mean, he's cheesed some to get to this point. So it's pretty hard to predict that, but Chill, you know, what do you think we're going to see DinOt do? I think that we may be able to predict that at least.
Well, this map is kind of like Tau Cross in that you can completely seal the main with a pylon and then cannon the Zerg player. So I would imagine DinOt is pretty scared of that. Whether he chooses to counter it with a 9 pool or some sort of drone block is hard to predict. I would guess because the map is so hard for Zerg, we're going to see him make an Overlord. There goes the Overlord now. And he'll just 12 hatch into kind of a standard drone block to stop the cannoning. We can see the quick probe sent out from Rondo. That would kind of scare me as a Zerg player if that got in, because that cannon is so devastating. Once that pylon gets in your choke, it's very hard to deal with, even if you are a skilled Zerg player.
I know, and it's like you never thought offensive cannons were coming back after BGH days, but poof, here it is. Thank you, Korea, for these tiny little chokes.
Yeah, exactly. We can see DinOt actually overpooled, which is strange. I don't really think that's too effective on this map, given the long rush distances, but of course he is afraid of the cannon ring, so this deals with the cannons straight up. And we can see Rondo putting down the forge. It looks like he wanted to fast expand, but he didn't scout DinOt on the first position. So he's playing safe. Putting down the forge first is the right move. He can see the overlord. He knows he scouted DinOt now. And no gas now yet from DinOt, so we can see this isn't going to be a Zergling run by. It's more of just a safe anti-cannoning build. DinOt, oh, there comes the drone to make the natural, so he's transitioning into normal play now, just getting 2 Zerglings.
Now, I gotta say, I kind of liked the drone movement there. He moved it up and around the main and tricked that probe. The probe came in, didn't see the drone, and he popped the drone out and made that hatchery. Very cool move. Now, I'm noticing that DinOt is doing the 12 pool, 12 hatch here, and some Zerg players think that that gets you behind. And I mean, just how far behind do you get from doing 12 pool, then 12 hat, as opposed to a 12 hat, then 12 pool?
Well, I mean, everything in Zerg play is about drones, and it's about compounding your small mistakes into the late game. I mean, I can't put a number to it, but you get uncomfortably far behind. A lot of weaker players find they want to play safe, so they open up 12 pool, and then they find late game they're getting rolled over. I think on a map like this, you don't really want to open up that safe because you're going to run into these late game problems, and I think that's what DinOt's going to find. The one thing he does have is the rush distances so far, cross positions. He's going to have some time before Rondo moves out, but I think we're going to find that he's going to have trouble keeping up with the supply of Rondo. I'd expect to see Rondo consistently through the mid game up 10 to 20 supply.
Alright, and we see that Rondo actually is doing a very standard build, so we were a little bit worried about that. Didn't know if he was going to keep on trying to make cannons in people's bases, but here he is. He's going to show his true macro skill this game, maybe. He's already got that Nexus up. And meanwhile, DinOt, he has his 3rd hatch at his natural while getting gas his main, so we may be seeing some sort of, 3 hatchery Hydra rush or something like that, as opposed to taking that 3rd base that we've seen out of Gosia and Rhett.
Yeah, one of the things I've talked with Zerg players who are struggling on this map is the choke is so wide going from the center into the natural. I've said, like, if this map is so hard, why don't you just go 3 hatch Zerglings, 3 hatch Hydras, 4 hatch Hydras, try to use that wide choke to just do an all-in. I mean, that really may be your best chance. And I don't know if DinOt's doing that. We can see he's getting an evolution chamber, which would lend itself to just safer play. So clearly he's not. And we can see the evolution chamber is kind of the wrong play because Rondo has made a Stargate. So look, he's going into the B-suit build. He's going into Corsair's Dark Templar. And I'm glad to see this because we've seen from foreign Protoss players, they tend to favor the +1 Speedy Zealot Rush, which we don't see in Korea much because it is just a technically weaker build. So it's good to see what foreign players can do with this B-suit build.
Yeah, and it's funny that Rondo, a big underdog, it looks like he's going to be the one doing this build as opposed to some of the other more seasoned veterans who have been doing the +1 attack, Speed Zealot attacks. So props to Rondo there. He's really going to show us some true skill this game. Now Rondo, he's getting his 2nd gas already as is needed. He's a very gas intensive build when you go for Dark Templars and Corsairs and Storm and High Templars and all that good stuff. And meanwhile, we do have Hydralisk speed upgrading, and we have Hydralisk attack upgrading in the Evolution Chamber. So I'm telling you what, I think we're going to see some sort of Hydralisk 3-hatch all-in like you've been suggesting to people here.
What do you think about this? I think if you're going to all-in, you can't really wait for these double upgrades. I don't think this is going to be really the right thing to do here. I don't know, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't think it's the right thing because he has no lair and there's going to be DTs, so he's really not going to be able to kill him unless I don't know, if he microed like he was 5 Jidongs at once, then maybe, but without Overlord speed, look at this, still no lair. He looks like he's favoring just making Hydralisks. I don't think he's going to be in a very good position. I think this was kind of a risky gamble build here. If Rondo didn't go Dark Templars, then maybe it would have worked out a lot better. but it looks as is like he is going to attack, and there's going to be Dark Templars who are just going to rip apart his army.
Yeah, he, I think he was hoping that Overlord would stay alive by his natural, but that got picked up by the Corsair. He does have this other one by 3 o'clock, and it looks like he's actually timed his attack not bad. The Dark Templar aren't out yet. High Templar actually building, a Dark Templar in the natural, and here come the Hydros trying to push in. Do they have range? I think they do. Moving and targeting the first cannon. Now they're going to come kind of a misstep on that cannon. He took unnecessary losses there. I think had he come back, targeted the Zealots, and then worked on the cannons, that would have worked out a lot better, but he does have quite a few Hydras left. Dark Templar does get out, and this is going to stop the attack dead. DinOt hears the Dark Templar swiping at that Hydra, killing it, and he's forced to retreat, and he can't be feeling good now, knowing that his basically all-in got thwarted. What can he do now but wait for this Overlord to trudge its way over slowly to Rondo's natural?
Yeah, that's about all that he can do right now. We see that he is still just pumping Hydras off of three hatches rather, and he's just rallying up his Hydras. Things are not looking too good for him, but Rondo sends that Dark Templar away. It looks like he wants to harass and look for a third. Sorry, Rondo, there is no third to find. You should have kept that at home. Rondo now looks like he's going to lose his forge, quickly throwing up a couple more cannons, and he does have a few High Templars. Does he have Psystorm? It's about halfway done right now, so this is the exact rush timing for DinOt to do something. No DTs building for Rondo right now. Quite a mistake there. No DTs and no detection, but the Overlord is making its way up, so maybe that'll pay off in the mid part of this rush. Now Rondo throwing up another forge. He's got his High Templars. He's just sitting there hoping to God, do not break me right now, DinOt. I need these storms to hold you off. And will DinOt break him? I am not too sure. This is getting pretty close and exciting.
Yeah, Rondo looks like he succumbed to the pressure, but sending that Dark Templar was not the right. Storm finishes, only killing a single Hydra. Bad Storm, there's a good Storm. That's going to take out a large majority of the attack. There's only four Hydralists left now. Those Zealots are slow. They're not even going to get a hit, except on that one Hydra taking it out. He's trying to push these Hydras in as much as he can, but he's just going to succumb to Storm. The single Hydra left, a few more reinforcements, but I mean, I don't think this is going to last. I think Rondo's just going to be able to weather the storm, if you will, weather the storm, and then be able to move out with a huge army. What are your thoughts?
LOL, you are right. He is going to be able to weather the storm, and DinOt right now is trying to pick off a very nice micro there. Look at that, just jumping back, killing those Zealots, something he should have shown us earlier when he was first all-inning on the cannons. But yeah, Rondo right now, he's just going to start getting big. He has a lot of gateways going. He has 5 gates going, and DinOt is just going to run out of steam pretty quickly here. He's microing like a champ with just 3 Hydras left, still picking off Zealots and Archons. Rondo looks like he just has them set on the Hydras to attack, not microing at all, because those Archons are a little bit quicker than the Zealots. He could get them in front with their range. And here we go again, DinOt going into the choke. He's got about 8 Hydras. He's picking up these cannons on the left side. Looks like he will get them. And Rondo, I mean, he is getting hurt a little bit, but oh, look at this. He brings back those units that were chasing the Hydras and cleans these up. It looks like DinOt is not long for this world at all. He keeps rallying Hydras, but he has no mid-game plan, no late-game plan aside from attack with Hydras. Still no lair. He's just got that +1 Hydra attack, and that is it. And right now, another Archon morphing, 3 High Templars, a bunch of Zealots, and the Zealots have speed, so pretty soon here we're going to see DinOt just slam it in, and Rondo showing some pretty impressive play this time. I mean, he made one mistake sending that DT out, but you know, he did get some valuable information that it wasn't all in, and therefore he got to defend it, you know, a little bit more heavily. He made those extra cannons. Now DinOt losing the rest of his Hydras here. There's really nothing he can do here, is there, Chill?
No, I mean, continually making Hydras isn't going to work, but I mean, if he stops and starts making drones and goes lair, I mean, that's really not going to work. So he does seem to have impressive micro. He is out microing Rondo, so that is 1+. Maybe he can try to take advantage of that. This Templar gets sniped. I mean, he's coming out ahead in every battle, but unfortunately, his economy is just so weak. I mean, if we look at the supplies, it's like 100 to 40 basically, and he doesn't have detection, so this Dark Templar is going to cut him down. Again, I mean, we can say it a million times, there is nothing DinOt can really do. I really think you can't be waiting for upgrades. They take so long to finish. If you're gonna all in, it's got to be before the upgrade finishes. I think going for that evolution chamber was a mistake, and we see Rondo just basically rolling out with a huge army now. He's pushed past 100 supply, getting an observatory. That's unnecessary. Researching Dragoon range, and he's pushing in. Looks like we're still just seeing Hydras from DinOt. I mean, once this gets crushed and he can't even get out of his natural at any point, I think he's gonna have to be forced to give up.
Yeah, he is going to have to be forced to give up. We see that he's actually going on the defensive here. He finally makes a lair. Still not upgrading Overlord's speed, though. Rondo pretty much has him here. You know, he has a lot more units. He killed that Overlord over at the choke, so his DTs are just really strong right now against no Overlord speed. And Rondo setting up the natural in the top left. DinOt not wanting to leave. He knows how important this Razer TSL tournament is. You know, so much money on the line, so much fame, so much prestige, and he does not want to lose at all. He's giving it his all, absolutely. And here the Zealots come bashing into these poor Hydras. Very nice micro by DinOt, really, but it is hopeless. He just does not have enough to deal with this. Rondo with really quite a few units right now. Very good macro. Nice storm going off on the Hydras. Damages a bunch. Only kills about 3. And the Zealots will come right into cleanup. Drones coming out. Are these drones going to attack? Yep, they're going to make the Hydras dance around a little bit. Not really helpful at this point. Looks like DinOt is going to tap out any second here, and Rondo is going to take the lead with 1-0. GG.
Well, I mean, I think DinOt showed he was a better player mechanically there, but I don't think his build was right. I mean, hearing from Zerg players who are practicing specifically for this tournament that they find they can't win on Wuthering. But I mean, that build, in my mind, didn't even have a chance to work against pretty much any other build. So, I mean, I know he must have practiced it, but it just seemed a bit of a strange build in my eyes.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, I understand going all in, but the build maybe wasn't the best all in possible for that scenario.